Hello and welcome to a new episode of What to Pick. This is the video series where I go over a few different starting hands and explain what I would pick and why. Let's start, and I think we have a banger to start off with because I looked into the hand for a bit, and it's between Ecoline and Luna. And Luna is normally one of the best corps in the game, so let's go with that for now. And as we see here, we also have Allied Bank, which has an Earth tag on it. And that's just really great for Luna because you immediately draw a card with that for free. And otherwise it's also an insanely good prelude. And you could also decide here between Biolab and Huge Asteroid. Huge Asteroid gives you some more development, but it also hits your starting capital. And with Luna you already have quite low starting capital. Or you could think about Biolab because you draw another 3 cards. So let's say we go with Huge Asteroid for now. And then we see we have Earthcat on hand, and that's just insane. And Earthcat is the best card in the game, especially on your starting hand. And with Luna, you also draw a card with that. And then you also have Lunar Beam, which has another Earth tag, which means you draw again another card. Also gives you some power prod flexibility, and together with the power prod you get from Huge Asteroid, you already have 3 power prod with this card. And then the rest of the hand is so-so. I mean, imported hydrogen is certainly nice. Space station can be great. You can also think about picking up energy tapping and ore processor because you're almost there. You just need 1 more power prod and you get the ore processor going because you have energy tapping and lunar beam. And then that's probably it, what I would pick up here. Because again, you're pretty poor. You also lose. In total, you lose 2 cash from your preludes, and pretty much means you won't play anything in the first gen. You will just pass and then open up the second gen with Earthcat. And yeah, you could try to go for Planner with this hand. You could also try to place the ocean here on cards if you want to. Or you could reserve imported hydrogen to grab plants and try to convert a greenery or get the animals from that. You could also think about picking up research coordination. Maybe you will need science tags later or earth tags. So it doesn't trigger your ability because the wild tag only is in effect after you played it, not when you play it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Straightforward, really good for Luna. But if you want to go a different route, Ecoline also has a pretty good start here. So let's see what we have with Ecoline. First of all, we have early settlement, which normally isn't a great prelude, and probably even with Ecoline it's not that great. But the plant prod combos really well with Ecoline's ability and with the plant prod you already have. And then you can also pick up Biolab, and then you start off with 4 plant prod. That's pretty insane. Of course, you could basically exchange any of these preludes for Allied Bank, just because Allied Bank is so good. And Ecoline certainly could use a little bit help with that starting capital, but let's go all in and pick up Biolab and early settlement. Again, I would pick up Earthcat just because it's so good. And you could also think about picking up Lunar Beam because you want some heat prod to get the temperature track going as well. You definitely don't want to pick up Ore Processor because with Ecoline you want to place greeneries and get the oxygen going that way. But what's one of the best cards in the game for Ecoline is imported hydrogen, because this has the potential of giving you 5 plants in the first gen. You already have 3, you get 5 more, which means you can place a greenery right away. This is really, really great. So with Ecoline, I'd probably just go with Earthcat and imported hydrogen are a must. And then you can think about Herbivores, Robo Construction, Lunar Beam, and that's basically it. This is all I would pick up, and if you do this, you end up with 21 cash, which is enough to play imported hydrogen. I would ignore Earthcat for that one, because you can just play imported hydrogen and get a greenery down immediately. That's so great, that's better than waiting 1 gen and playing Earthcat beforehand. So yeah. These are the 2 starts with these 2 corps. It's a really fun hand, and I would be pretty sad here, not because the start isn't great, but because I have to decide between two really great starts. And yeah, it's an amazing start. I would like to play this game. Let's go to the next hand. Alright, let's get to the second hand, and this is a decision between Thorgate and Cheung Mars. Cheung Mars is a bit boring, but it's probably one of the better corps in the game, so let's pick it for now. Mining Operation works really well together with Cheung Mars, because you want to play building tax with Cheung, and mining operations will help you enormously with that. And yeah, you could certainly go for Martian Industries, but the steel production is probably a bit overkill if you already have mining operations. Biolab, you don't really need the plant prod, but drawing 3 cards can be really useful, and also the science tech is sometimes worth it. Let's see. Okay, we have some more science techs here. That's quite nice. Virus is often quite a good card. These 2 cards, we are not sure about that. If you can play those in the late game, then they are really good because they are so cheap. But you never know if these oceans are still up there. Okay, there's a 1-point animal. We definitely want to pick that up. And Fuel Factory is quite nice, especially because we have geothermal power. Okay, now you could think about what was the other corp? It was Thorgate, right? Okay, Thorgate isn't really needed here because we have just 1 card on hand that needs power. That's Fuel Factory. You can think about picking up Martian Industry just for that. Or you could just pick up geothermal power, which is what I would prefer here. So I'd go with Biolab and mining operations. And then I'd probably pick up these 2. Restricted area is really great because it gives you continuous card draw. Definitely pick up Virus. This can be 2 points in the late game, or deny greenery in the early game if someone wants to go for Gardener. Then geothermal power to play in Fuel Factory. And that's basically everything we want to do in the first gen. Geothermal power, Fuel Factory, and then playing Restricted. And I think we will have enough cash for that. So yeah, that's basically it. Also remember, we get 4 steel from mining operations right away, so playing this is really easy. You could even think about picking up Eos Chasma, because we already have a 1-point animal we can place this animal on. And we will have a discount on it, and it's a late game steel target. It sometimes can be useful. For that, we would probably need to calculate now if we can play our 3 cards in the first gen if we picked it up. We start with 44 plus 8 from steel, so 52. 52 minus 21 is 31. This costs us 2 less each, so it's 4 plus 9 is 13, plus this is 24, plus 2 from drawing a card is 26. So we easily have enough to play these 3 cards. So I'd probably pick up Eos Chasma as well, just to have a late game steel dump, and it will be 2 points, 2 cash prod, and some plants. So I think it's quite useful. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I see no reason to pick Thorgate here. So yeah, I think this is a fine start for Cheung Mars. Alright, and the last hand for today is between Interplanetary Cinematics and Mining Guild. Both heavily rely on getting some steel tax or building tax on your starting hand, so let's start with IC for now. Okay, donation is really good for both corps, because while you have a lot of steel with IC and also some steel with Mining Guild, you lack in normal starting capital, so donation really helps out with that. And other than that, I mean, drawing some cards with Biolab again is nice, but the plant prod is useless. Getting more steel, especially with IC, isn't really useful. But let's see what we have here. Okay, Space Elevator is really good for both corps, because you have a use for your steel then, and you have a steel dump. Nuke Zone is really good for Mining Guild, especially, because it's attack. Arctic Algae is just always great. There's also Research Outpost. I think I'd rather start with Mining Guild here, and then I guess we can go for Supplier, because Mining Guild doesn't start out with that much steel, and we have some steel targets immediately. So Supplier and Donation are really good here for Mining Guild. Definitely want to pick up Arctic Algae, it's just one of the best cards in the game. Space elevator for sure. Then we have a steel target. Nuke zone, really strong with mining guild. It's good development for every corp, but with mining guild you even get steel prod from it. You can think about hired raiders and Sabo, but we have to think about how much we can play here in the first gen. And definitely research outpost. The thing which is a bummer here is that we don't have a target for or a use for the power from supplier. But a lot of building techs, cities, some stuff like fuel factory, building industries, they all use up power, or stuff like AI Central or EarthCat, really good, not EarthCat, ElectroCat. Really good building techs often use up power, so having power can't be a bad thing, especially for mining guild, who wants to play a lot of building techs. So supply and donation are fine here, I think. And then I'd go with these techs for sure. We end up with 51 with donation, plus another 10, that's 61, and plus another 8, that's 69, nice. Minus 12, that's 57. It's plenty enough to play research outpost. I'd probably play nuke zone first, pick up steel, and use that steel on research outpost. And then we can play space elevator and Arctic algae as well. Yeah, I'm a little bit too lazy to calculate this, but basically you'd want to play nuke zone first, then research outpost, or the other way around. I mean, but you can pick up steel with nuke zone and then play research outpost with that steel, but I guess you can also just play research outpost first, maybe draw a card with that, then play nuke zone, pick up steel with that, and then use up all your steel on space elevator. I think that's also a good idea. And you would also want to play Arctic algae in the first gen if that's possible. But yeah, I think this looks like a really good start. What you also could think about is picking up research coordination. Maybe you want the building tag for miner, but I guess you're fine. With mining guild you start out with 2 tags already. And then you have 1 tag here on space elevator, 1 tag on research outpost. Maybe you want a tag. I don't really know. So you could think about something like this. Advanced Ecosystems is also a really good card, but you're lacking the tags at the moment. You only have a planned tag. With research coordination, actually, it's a good pickup. But then I'm not quite sure if you have enough money for this all. So maybe you can also drop Sabo or hired raiders again. But it's a really good starting hand for mining guild. It would also be fine for IC. And then I would definitely pick up these 2 events and play them immediately in the first gen, just to hamper the start of your opponents, and also you get the cash back immediately. And you have a lot of steel with IC to play space elevator and research outpost in the first gen, which is great. So yeah, I think both corps are really good here, but seldomly you get a good start with mining guild where you have tags. And this is one of them, one of those starts, so I think I would pick up mining guild here. And this looks like a fun start. So yeah, this is basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. And if you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Goodbye.